Hello everybody, GZTV back with another video, and we are here with day 26 of the 30 Days of Summer Smash, where every single day we are covering my top 30 favorite artists. They added this group as a performer. We're here to talk about Homixide Gang, man. They added Homixide Gang like a couple of weeks ago, so they're really gonna have an Opium presence, but just kind of getting into Homixide Gang. Actually a group I'm a pretty big fan of, you know, Beno and Meechie doing their thing, kind of being around since like the early 2020s when Playboi Carti started referencing them in his work. And then they started dropping music, you know, starting out with an album like Snotty World, which came out in 2021, which I will say I'm not a fan of. I didn't really listen to it when it came out. There's definitely a few songs I take from it, like 500. You get 55 Lifestyle, two really good songs on that project. I really started to listen to them when they started to get a lot of marketing, a lot of pushing in the Opium camp in that record label, and they dropped Homixide Lifestyle. And from there, they've been kind of going crazy. Homixide Lifestyle, Snot or Not, two really dope albums, I think, from them. Now, they started to kind of fall off when Fifth Amendment came out, and I don't even know what their last album's called. I'll pop the name up in the album cover on the screen whenever I can get it. I was a big fan of the first two albums I listened to. I didn't really listen to Snotty World and all that, but I was a fan of, again, Snot or Not and Homixide Lifestyle. It was kind of short-lived. Like, I was a fan of theirs for a couple of years, you know, just kind of riding the Opium wave. By the way, it was really cool to be an Opium fan in 2022, 2023. Literally everyone in the label came up together besides Carti, who kind of started the whole imprint thing. But yeah, man, they have Homixide Lifestyle 2 coming up real soon, and shout out to 42 CEO. I hope to meet him at the festival. If you're watching this, 42, what's good with you, bro? But they're set to drop Homixide Lifestyle 2 soon, and I saw some interviews with them. Like, Ken Carson's gonna be on the album. There's a lot of stuff. They're trying to kind of market it, and there's some confirmed things. So we will have to see what happens with Homixide Gang. They're not really featured on anything. They are kind of a group. I can't really think of any big features they've done. They were on Ken Carson's album X. Like, obviously those guys very early on in their careers were working with each other all sorts of different times. But again, I can't think of anyone else. They started off working with like Odatari. I don't really know who that is. Zabson. I guess they were on a Sid Shine record. That's pretty cool. They worked closely with him. That's nice. But again, they're not really feature artists. They kind of work within the Opium camp, which is cool. I do like how tight-knit that label is. It's fine to kind of get outside and work with other artists, but there you go. Homixide Gang, really dope. The group, really awesome mosh pits and stuff. They have a lot of energy. They have really dope, distorted, kind of typical instrumentals that you would expect out of an Opium artist. And they have that whole controversy with like the underage stuff. I don't get into like the press of an artist. I don't really get into I value the art. I don't know. I guess it's whatever. With that being said, I don't really have a whole lot to say about them. I really like them as a group. It's going to be awesome to hear them live in concert.